If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.
Hello, kitties. This is yours duly, the Crypt Keeper, and you're listening to Slasher Radio.
Welcome to Slasher Radio with the host Mikey Bones, Rob Humphrey, and Kat Valor. We are here.
Play The Sims with those dirty mods on it?
Are you serious?
I'm just saying, dude.
You had to say that right now, though.
We were talking about The Sims.
And then we started the show.
I know, but I wasn't done talking about The Sims yet. They got the dirty mods on there. You can see them like naked and doing all sorts of filthy stuff.
He's got to really focus on that.
Yeah, I got to really pay attention to what's happening. Hey, if you're not careful, your sim come down with VD.
That could happen?
Yeah, it can happen. You got to go to the doctor.
Asked you if you were ready. You said yeah. Like you couldn't have brought this up before saying yeah, motherfucker.
He actually said, "What do you think?"
I didn't say yes. So what do you think?
Apparently it was no. My fault. You're right. This is all on me.
Do we want to start over?
No.
All right.
No, it's too late now. You ruined it. This is here forever now, and you have yourself. You got to think about what you did. This is what you got to live with forever. Are you happy now?
Appropriate slashie energy, I think.
Yeah. Welcome to the SLASHIE Awards. This is night one of the 2-night event. Every year, the 4th Annual SLASHIE Awards. And tonight we are tackling games and series.
Yeah, that's what you said.
That's what I don't know. We talked about it apparently. We swear to God we had this conversation.
Yeah, we did, I'm sure, but you can't expect me to remember. I rely on you to remember that sort of stuff.
If we're relying on me to remember anything, there's trouble afoot.
But that sounds right. That sounds right. Series and video games, because then next week we're going to do community stuff and movies.
Yes. Community shit and movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We're going to get to that shortly. We had a great turnout for the Slashies this year. You can still vote on movies. So if you're listening to this and you haven't gotten your votes in for movies yet, the link will be in the bio of description, whatever, for this episode and on our socials, and you can go do that. So you do still have time. Cutoff for that is midnight on the 8th of February. So the night of February 8th, you can no longer vote. But until then, you can get your votes in. We do have listener mailbag to get to and drink roll call, which I'm very excited about because it's a very special event, even though Rob just kind of soiled the whole thing.
How did I soil it?
You're talking about filth, foreign filth.
I think Rob should host the Oscars.
You should see what them Sims do. Holy God.
Yeah, Rob, before we get into it, we're a horror podcast. I swear to God. Rob has had an issue. I'm sitting on my computer and I see Radio Rob 123 is playing The Sims 4. And then a minute later, Radio Rob 123 is playing The Sims 4. And this repeated probably about close to 20 times. And when I talked to him, I was like, you having fun on The Sims? And you couldn't get into it, but now you're in.
Yeah, it wouldn't launch. It was a whole mess. I went through all this stuff. And then finally somebody was like, you got to check your EA account. And I was like, I don't even know what that is. But I figured it out and, some of my EA account. But so I kept, when you were seeing it over and over again, I kept trying to launch the game and it wouldn't launch. But it was like Steam was convinced I was playing it or something. So, yeah, it was a nightmare. But I finally got it to launch. And then as soon as I did, Mikey sends the link to start recording. I'm like, damn, I can't catch a break.
I meant to screenshot you playing The Sims and send it in our group chat and say, I think this might be a problem.
Oh, it'll be a problem.
You fall into these rabbit hole. What was it? Stardew Valley Crossing was one.
Animal Crossing, yeah. I was setting alarms for Animal Crossing just to make sure I got up in the mornings.
Monster, you.
I had to sell my turnips when that person was on my island. It was a pain in the ass.
The roads you go down. You live a very interesting life, Mr. Humphrey. Very interesting. All right. Nonetheless, though, drink roll call. What are you guys drinking?
I went through my refrigerator and I found one last can I didn't even know I had of Cutwater Vodka Transfusion. So right now I'm drinking that. And then I don't know what's up next, but it'll probably be something else I find in the refrigerator.
Not as strong as the margaritas in the can stuff,
no,
right?
No, these are only clocking in at 7%.
Okay.
But they are tasty.
All right. I am drinking, and it's a special night, the SLASHie Awards and all that stuff. I am drinking champagne tonight.
Ooh.
Oh.
Yeah, I got me a bottle of pink rosé champagne, Rob.
Oh my God.
What's the matter?
Why can't you just get regular man champagne? You got to be drinking pink rosé.
This is special, man. It's a special night. I would get fancy. It's pink rosé.
Yeah, and you're a very special lady.
That's fucked up for you to say. And I wish I could. You did something really, really girly recently, and I cannot for the life of me remember what it was. Yeah, leave me alone, man.
What
pink
I do?
rosé. I don't remember, but it was something girly, and I remembered you thinking you had nerve for the things that you say about my drinks.
I don't recall what that was.
I don't remember either.
I mean, I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just saying I don't recall.
Yeah. But either way, leave my champagne alone, dude. It's a good choice. I'm being classy. You're over there drinking vodka in a can. At least I came here. I got my tuxedo on. It's got a couple stains, but it's all right.
What about classy? I mean, I'm here drinking the vodka transfusion, talking about The Sims. What could be classier?
Can't have nothing. Cannot have a single solitary thing. Kat, what do you drink?
I also thought about doing champagne, honestly, but I didn't make it out to the store. So did not happen. Against the advice of my friends and family and lawyer, I'm back with margarita in a can.
Nice.
Oh, boy. The ballsy move. Cutwater margarita in a can? Like
Cutwater margarita in a can.
Oh,
nice.
damn. Okay. So anything's liable to happen here. It's what we're getting at.
I'm at a safe level of margarita in a can. So I've just opened the second one. It's fine. We're fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We were discussing margarita in a can last night, Rob.
It comes up all the time. I don't know. Yeah, probably last night during that awful movie night you made me sit through.
We watched Hostel in the Discord for movie night. It was a great movie. We had a lot of fun. Rob was pissed. He didn't get to watch Meth Gator, which I'm kind of worried is going to win next week. I'm not going to lie.
People in our Discord need to get their shit together, voting for Hostel over Meth Gator.
Kat, Rob has started calling someone in our Discord is Australian, and Rob just started calling her the little Australian girl for some reason. Yeah, like he sounds like he found some poor girl on the side of the road or something. Little girl, it's a grown ass woman, calls her little Australian girl, and she has a friend who is also Australian. And Rob found out about this and the panic that ensued in him. He said, "There's another one."
I was confused because one was talking and I thought it was the other one, and then something happened. I was like, "Wait, there's two Australians in here."
His words were, "Wait, there's another one," and then followed up by, "What happened?" So we came to the conclusion that somebody fed Illyria after midnight, and she multiplied like a little mogwai, a little Australian. Anyway, all right, good, Kat. I commend you. That's good. At least you're going hard.
Yeah, I'm committed.
Unlike Rob, he's just mid. Story of Rob's life.
Well, I mean, he's also having Cutwater, so.
Yeah, but it's like weak Cutwater, though.
You're the only one not drinking Cutwater over there with your pink girly rosé champagne.
I am fancy, man. And I will tell you what.
Oh, I'm also being fancy, though. I'm wearing pants, guys. I'm wearing Texas Chainsaw pants. So I came dressed to impress to the SLASHIES tonight.
Are they the Fright Rags pants?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm also wearing Fright Rags pants. I'm wearing the Joe Bob's Last Drive-In Fright Rag
nice.
pants. Yeah.
I'm wearing a tuxedo. I don't know what's going on here. Might have some sriracha stains on it, but still, it's a tuxedo. I only got one.
Sriracha's gross.
Hey,
I
do
don't
that.
have time. Yeah.
We don't have time to get into this.
I was going to say, I don't have time to argue about this again. You're wrong. All right, but yeah, I'm playing the part here, man. I bought champagne.
You bought the wrong kind, though.
No, I didn't. I'll tell you what I almost did, though. I was going through the app and selecting my champagne, and I was going by the bottle. I'm not gonna lie, like that's how I made my selection. And I seen this really cool bottle, man. Like it was like black, and it had the silver lettering and like this cool design on it. And I was like, oh man, this one's fucking $35. It was $350. Don Pella. What is that one's popular? Yeah. Well, that would have been an expensive mistake.
We would have had a shopping segment at the start of Slasher Radio. Like, what can you guys buy? That's going to make me feel better about this.
Rob would have had to buy a lot of shit to make up for, like, at least if it was something like cool, like memorabilia, something that I would enjoy forever, I could justify spending $355. Bottle, a small, like, there's not even much in there, man. Like, I'm pissed off. Like, I knew it was going to happen, but yeah, champagne for this show. God damn it. And Rob's going to talk shit about it. Be ashamed. All right. We do have a mailbag. Hang on. I have so many tabs open because of my fear of Rob breaking things.
I'm not going to break nothing.
I don't think he believes you.
I am curious about this reset button, though.
Don't touch it. Giving you access to anything, you don't understand the fear.
You don't give me access to anything. You usually just say you do.
Okay. 917-397-KILL. That's 917-397-5455. You can leave a text message, voicemail, anything you would like for the show. There's also comments from Patreon that are listed, that are included in here, because apparently that has become widely popular to yell at us and everything else via Patreon. So we'll make everybody's, if we got to deal with it, everybody does. I guess is kind of the moral of the story here. But text messages.
The funny thing is, if you didn't include those, I would never have to deal with it because I don't have access to the Patreon either.
You do have access to the Patreon. This is another thing that you swear you don't have access to that you do. That'll be an off the show thing. Whereas everybody's going to be able to get into our fucking Patreon. That'll be great. But yeah, text messages read by Ghostface. Voicemails are aired on the show. We will play them, discuss them. We got a lot of voicemails. There's really just been like Patreon comments and text messages here and there. There's a lacking on the voicemails, honestly. Like those are kind of fun. Nonetheless, here we go.
Hello, hosts and listeners. Ghostface here with more messages from the mailbag. There are a lot of messages here, but I have to hurry. I've had so much Scream 7 bullshit to deal with from this week. The following comments are from Patreon on the recent Laid to Rest episode. First comment is from Mystic. I may need to rewatch the Buffy the Vampire Slayer movie. Actually, no. I remember enough that I don't want to. However, I like the silly meta nods to the movie and Buffy the Vampire Slayer TV show. Movie, no. Show, yes. Comics, meh. Same Rob, I only read some. Again, fuck Joss Whedon. I think the pop giveaway sounds interesting. There is a really cool Terrifier one coming out in May with Sienna and Ard.
Mystic is Harley, who understood and acknowledged the confusion with Harley and Carly, and they figured they changed their Patreon name to match their Discord. So I do appreciate that very much. I still don't know her real name, though.
I do appreciate that. Yeah, we still don't know your real name, but that's okay.
Could be Shark Fizzle.
Could be. We think maybe.
I don't know. Shark Fizzle would be more mad about Buffy takes.
That's the thing here. So I don't know if it's Shark Fizzle trying to throw us off or whatever the case may be. But either way, yeah, we did X.
Maybe what? It's Rob.
We cracked that. You admitted to it. It's over. It's done. You can't reclose that can of worms. It's over. But yeah, we did ask Harley Mystic there because they commented on, I think the TV, like they commented on something. I think it was that episode, but they only mentioned the TV show. And we wanted to know if they liked the movie. So all right, they're on the right side of things here.
Yeah. Yeah, they're in line where they should be.
Okay. Next message.
The next comment is from EyeRChris. To answer your question, Bonez, no, the very important danza was not a factor. This is just one of my favorite turn your brain off and enjoy the madness flicks. It's up there with Hatchet as just a fun ride. But the danza was a happy bonus.
God damn it.
Yeah, it was very exciting to finally get a movie that had a danza in it.
I disagree with Chris, though. I mean, Laid to Rest was good, but it's not as good as Hatchet, right?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Kat, have you ever seen Laid to Rest?
I have not seen Laid to Rest.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's got a bunch of crazy kills. And yeah, I agree with that part, Chris. It is, turn your brain off, enjoy the man. I agree 100%, but I would put Hatchet far before Laid to Rest.
Yeah, I mean, as we talked about with Laid to Rest, if you leave your brain on even just a little bit, it'll drive you mad with the logic that doesn't really make any sense.
Uh-oh.
I've never seen a just drive the fucking car and leave moment several times over than I've seen in that movie. Essentially,
Kat, it's a slasher movie. People are being hunted by a killer. And at any given moment, they could just leave and they just don't.
Well, that's frustrating.
It's really frustrating.
Yeah. But yeah, and that was a Chris pick. And, I did appreciate that. It was a good movie, Chris. I'd never seen it. I seen a lot of talk about it, having been introduced to it because we had to watch it. So it's like one of those, almost like a cult following. Kind of, I don't know if it's big enough to be considered a cult following. Maybe it is. But yeah, I put Hatchet way before it, though. Like, I don't see Hatchet as just a fun ride. Like, I feel like there's more, not a tremendous amount more, but I feel like Hatchet's more than just that. But I mean, fair comparison to a degree.
Yeah, I mean, kind of. And then Laid to Rest is, despite the maddeningly frustrating logic flaws in the movie, it is still like an enjoyable watch. Like, it's a decent movie.
All right. Good follow-up, though. All right, next message.
The next comment is from Carly. Mikey, I don't know why you're tattling on me to Rob when you know he likes the first two Conjuring movies, and I am in fact only talking about the first two, The Conjuring 1 and The Conjuring 2.
Well, she's fine. Carly's doing just fine.
Oh, I did not know Rob liked the first two Conjuring movies. I feel we've had this conversation before, I'm sure.
We have had this conversation many times.
I was going to say, how did you not know that?
Yeah, The Conjuring and The Conjuring 2 are I would say good movies. Like they're good, and everything around them is awful though. And The Conjuring 3 can go straight to hell. That movie's garbage.
I feel like I put myself in a position where I hope for the best from Rob, and I never get it. And like in my head, like there's no way. Kat, the whole thing was I snitched on Carly because she told me that the Conjuring movies were like comfort movies to her. And apparently she was just talking about 1 and 2, but that's still wrong, right?
That's rough because I kind of am forgiving of the first Conjuring movie. I do not extend that grace to The Conjuring 2, but only with distance. Like I've only gotten to that place because I've taken a lot of distance from The Conjuring. It's hard for me to imagine them being comfort films because that's a lot of The Conjuring, But I mean, if you like them, I guess it's fine. I guess I don't have a problem with that.
I have a huge problem with those movies. Suck.
You're okay,
Every
Carly.
single one of them.
Also, I'm just such a huge fan of the Warrens as people that I love to see them represented in film.
Ooh,
you're
gonna get
bastard.
an angry voicemail.
they were just the idealistic people, the people you would want to be.
Kat, I'll have you know, Rob is a son of a bitch. Rob was sitting there in Discord, in movie night last night on Discord, with his mic muted. And me and EyeRChris were having a conversation. I forget what it was about, but it devolved into The Conjuring somehow.
Okay.
And that led to it devolving into the Warrens. And Chris started going on about how much he hates the Warrens, as we all know here.
We know that, yeah.
Yeah, we're very, very aware. And Rob, I'm watching his little character thing, his display picture on Discord, unmute. And this motherfucker says something along the lines of the Warrens were great people and characters or whatever. and the motherfucker went back on mute.
I'm just like tossing a grenade in and leave.
That was a grenade drive-by from Rob Humphrey.
That doesn't sound like me.
You
That
son
sounds
of a
exactly
bitch.
like you.
And he left me to sit and deal with the aftermath of this grenade drive-by and EyeRChris with the Warrens.
I don't remember exactly, but I may have just gotten away, walked away from my computer to go get something to drink after that.
Oh, fuck, I forgot to mention that to you. Yeah, you son of a bitch. But yeah, no, the kind of
That's mean.
we're not going down this road again. Carly, you're agreeing with Rob. I don't know what else to say.
Carly. You're doing great.
She also said that Rubber was fine on Twitter recently.
Charlie,
I mean,
let's
honestly,
roll that
Carly,
back, please.
Rubber is a lot more than fine. If we're you know, but
Yeah, I'm scrolling through. I can't find it. My fucking notifications are a mess. But yeah, she said something along like she didn't like it. I don't remember, but she's like, it's not pretty much along the lines of it's not very good or anything like that, but like she appreciated, I don't know, something like that.
it's fine art. And that sometimes that happens. Sometimes you don't connect with fine art, but you can still appreciate it.
And sometimes it's dog shit like Rubber.
Speaking of fine art that I did not connect with, we haven't mentioned this yet, but David Lynch passed away like 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
Yeah, that's true.
And
Yeah.
that was a guy, and I've talked a lot about his movies, how I watch them and they never make sense to me, and I have no idea what's happening. But I always appreciate them because I know that there's something interesting happening there. I'm just too dumb to figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's fair.
that was a really sad one. It was kind of a surprising one because I don't think of myself usually as like a big David Lynch fan. I feel kind of the same way about a lot of his movies where it's like they're good objectively, but I don't really feel what's going on here. Like I haven't quite gotten it, but I was really sad to hear about that. Like he's influenced so many people, you know, and there's something about that dream logic that always gets me thinking about stuff. And he seemed like a great person also. It was really sad to see all the memorials and stuff.
Interesting guy who, when he was asked what his movies were about, would most of the time say, figure it out.
I love that though, man.
Yeah.
Like it's frustrating.
He didn't like to give the answers. And sometimes he would flat out say, I don't know. You know, he would say, it came to me in a dream or whatever. Like so I think there's a lot of that too. Like it is just sort of stuff that came to his mind and he put it into film, but somehow it works on a level, not one that I necessarily connected with, but that I get there's something going on there. It's not, I never felt like it was just weird for the sake of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, that's true. We didn't mention it. And that is, I feel like it, you know, it's brought up like, it, you know, I seen a lot on Twitter and everything and respect was given, but I feel like it was kind of like not as big of a deal as it should have been. I mean, granted, this coming from us who didn't even mention it on the show, but you know, it should have been. Shame on us though.
Yeah. It occurred to me. I heard somebody talking about it and it occurred to me that, holy shit, that hasn't been mentioned on Slash Radio or on the Nick fucking Woo Cage cast. And Nick Cage did a number of movies with David Lynch that we've talked about.
I actually almost brought it up the episode like after it happened because there was a clip that had resurfaced of Nick Cage doing his David Lynch impression. But
I don't think I've ever seen that, but now I want to.
But like it wasn't news, you know, it was just like, and then the moment was gone by the time I remembered it. But no, it's interesting. Apparently, David, from what I got from the like little story with the impression, apparently he like had some kind of mind control on Nick Cage. He's the only person I've seen talk about David Lynch that sounded like very domineering. He's like, you'll do this.
All right. Next message.
The following comments are from the Horror Rumble video that premiered early on Patreon. The first comment is from Mystic Colon. That was funny as hell. Your guy's commentary made it LOL. The next comment is from Tim Davis. This was awesome. I'd like a weekly show, please. Also, where was Myers and Kruger? The next comment is from King of the Sexy Time with Rob Mailbag, Nesto, JR, and Lawler. You guys are not LOL, but that was a lot of fun.
couple of to tackle here. These comments are referring to the YouTube video that we did for Patreon, the first and seemingly last.
Yeah, I don't know that there's going to be any more. Sorry, Tim. Weekly episodes do not seem to be in the offing, although you can go to YouTube and watch it. But yeah, first of all, our commentary making people laugh is just ridiculous. We were taking it very serious.
You were taking Godzilla very serious?
That fucking Godzilla was stupid. I can't believe you put that in the fucking thing.
I didn't look at it before. And again, I stand by. Kat, I don't know. I don't know if you took time to watch the video or not yet. This Godzilla, it looked like a My Little Pony tail. Godzilla. And honestly, like I said, I didn't see it before it went in there. But had I told you last night, if I seen two options and one of them was like, look to the T like Godzilla and what we had, we would have got what we had anyway. I'm telling you that right now. It was amazing.
It sounds like you made the right call.
Absolutely. Mystic, I'm glad you enjoyed it. Tim as well. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Also, it's not doing the greatest on Patreon. And as we've mentioned, like if something's not going to perform well, that tells us that people don't want to see it. Is, what it means to us. And we're going to spend our time doing something else. This isn't doing great right now. Our videos, usually take a couple days to really catch on for some reason. Algorithms are strange. But, that doesn't mean it can't be done on Patreon though, Rob, right or wrong?
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see.
I don't know. I mean, seeing the number on YouTube right now is discouraging. I will say that.
Yeah, but it was fun to do. And if the patrons like it, then, we'll give it to the patrons at least.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll definitely kick it around. And Nesto, what the hell, man? How dare you? I feel like we were up there with JR and King.
Look, I wasn't trying to be no JR and King anyway. I was we were looking for Monsoon and Heenan. That's what we're going for.
No, I'm telling you right now.
Cool shit.
No, I'm telling you right now. If we do it again, I'm going to say by God and slobber knocker and all these things. All right. I'm letting you know I'm going for JR and you can do whatever it is you need to do. But yeah, that was a lot of fun. Okay. We do have two more and one of them seems to. Okay. We do have one more comment on this horror rumble.
And thanks to our friend Leo for helping out with the horror rumble video too.
The final comment is from EyeRChris. Idea for more matches. TLC match with John versus Amanda, Billy versus Stu, and Chrome Skull versus the Collector, an Inferno match between Jason versus Freddy, and Hell in a Cell between Leprechaun and Leatherface.
Okay. Also, to answer, I didn't answer Tim's question. The version of WWE2K, which is what this was played out on, that I had, it was older and they didn't have internet. It didn't support internet connection anymore, pretty much. So the servers for that, obviously is on the newer games, and that one was like outdated. So I couldn't download any more. And apparently when I downloaded these, I didn't get to Myers and Kruger. But I mean, if we do it again, that just means that they'll be definitely in the next ones, And I also didn't feel like paying $60 for a game on something I didn't know if we were going to do one fucking time, for being honest. But we did talk to Chris, and Leatherface versus Leprechaun, Hell in the Cell to finally settle the score once and for all would be interesting. And those are all fun matchups, though.
Those are all fun matchups. But once again, I don't know that we're going to ever be doing that again in the future.
Yeah, I don't know. But I don't know. I like the idea. I would like to do it again. And it's easy enough, and it's kind of not free content, but, like it's easy enough to do. And I don't know. We'll kick it around. I would like to do more. Hopefully this video is just taking a day or two to catch on. We'll see. If not, I don't know. It would take a lot of convincing from the patrons. I'll leave it at that. So if you guys really bring it up and don't leave us alone about it, chances are we'll do it. Okay, but we did have a text message from Chris. So here is this.
The final comment is a text message from EyeRChris. There is no message from Chris today, Michael. Just a warning. Stu lives. Michael, who did you think was reading the text messages all this time? I've just been bidding my time, hoping you get Sydney on the show for my revenge. I told you all the way back then that I'll be right back. And did I lie, Mikey? Did I lie?
Damn it.
Chris rubbing the salt in the wound.
Chris, are you for this, Chris? Because it'll break my heart.
For making you mad. if I had to guess. Agent of Chaos.
That sounds very much like Chris. I will admit. And if that's what it is, Chris, fine. I'll put my big boy pants on and I'll take it like a man. But if you're for this whole Stu mockery bullshit that's going on with the script, Chris would have already heard this by now. Everybody else listening that is not a patron, we had a whole bitch fest about this Scream 7 and everything going on and all the nonsense. We had a whole conversation dedicated to just that and Resident Evil stuff. Yeah. So that's on the Patreon, patreon.com/Slashie Radio. I'm not going to bitch about it again because we have a lot to get to today. But I will say I am very unhappy about the whole Stu thing. And it makes no goddamn sense. And it's stupid. And Stu's fucking dead. It's a good sum up.
Yeah. Imagine if Chris isn't for this thing. He just did this to upset you. I can't imagine somebody just sitting around like going out of their way to irritate you. You know what I mean?
It's hard to imagine.
Isn't it weird?
I don't know who would spend their time doing that.
Nope.
You have fully admitted that you have sat there and tried to come up with ways to irritate and annoy me.
I blew off an entire day at work trying to orchestrate a way to irritate you.
Yeah.
There were schedules involved. It was
you son of a...
I didn't get anything done at work that day. All right. So, yeah. Also, the other night, I literally had a dream about me trying to irritate you.
You're dreaming about it?
It came up. All right. In this dream, I had been offered 2 jobs, one in Chicago and one in New York. And I was going to take the one in Chicago because I like Chicago a lot. Right. And then I decided I had to look and find out where the one was located in New York, because if the office was going to be on Long Island near where you lived, I had to take that job.
Why?
I don't know, man. I don't know what happened. You really do bring out the worst in me, Mikey.
You are sleeping. You bring out the worst in you. How dare you blame that on poor little old me? Son of a bitch.
I don't know. My subconscious just hates the fact that you exist.
I'm really trying to process this. You in your sleep, subconsciously are doing this now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Was completely planning my entire future and life around whether or not I could annoy you.
Like I feel like he would do that, though, is the thing.
I feel like we could sell You Bring Out the Worst in Me, Mikey t-shirts.
Merch idea.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Like, actually, there's a part of me that's like, all right, Rob's probably sleeping. I don't have to get messages about Brother Island. I don't have to get messages about this or that or whatever the case may be. He's asleep. Like, I'm not even safe now. Like, you could wake up from a dream of annoying me and pissing me off. Yeah.
Maybe. Fuck. I don't know. The North Brother Island thing's really starting to irritate me, though, because I feel like you're not taking it serious.
I'm not taking it serious.
I even mapped out a route and everything for us to follow.
Kat, he sent me a screenshot of Google Maps from North Brother Island to the shore of where we would have to leave from to get there, and painted a route to this fucking island.
Yeah, we could do it.
Yeah. Well, why, Rob? Why?
I'm telling you, we got to get out there. We got to uncover what it is they're hiding from us.
That clears it up, Mikey.
Yeah, I can tell you now. This will leave me like this whole story ends. If we ever did this, the story ends with something spooky or creepy or nothing happening that just scares us, and us running to the boat and me seeing Rob about halfway paddling back to wherever we're going, and me stuck on this island with who knows what.
I let Grandma Bones know where you were.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, he's got a plan for you, Mikey. It's fine.
I hope when you call her, she yells at you for the old Daryl bullshit. She remembers that. I'm so annoyed.
You're annoyed. Think about me. I can't escape. I can't go to sleep without you popping up.
You might need therapy. You ever think about that? You talk to somebody professionally, maybe? Like, maybe this is like an internal thing with you. You ever think of that?
Doesn't seem likely.
I'm glad a side note from you dedicating your future and life and livelihood to pissing me off in your sleep at that even. Glad that the mailbag was full at least this week. So another kind of ties into the whole thing with the Rumble video thing we were talking about. If we don't get comments, there's no mailbag section. So if you like it, continue to comment and all those things. Good job this week, though, listeners. This was good. Some substance here.
Yeah, good work.
Even though some of it was just rubbing salt in a very emotional wound of mine with Scream. So, Chris, I don't know why you have to do that.
Good job, Chris.
And also let me know if you're for the stew thing or not. Must know.
We would be curious to know.
Yeah. All right. So take a quick break and we will be back with the Slashies. All right. Are you guys ready?
Yeah. Born ready.
What the fuck you think?
Are you ready? Or are we going to talk about The Sims some more?
I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah. That's the beauty of you. All right. Here we go. Night 1 of the Slashie Awards.
The biggest night in horror. Well, one of the 2 biggest nights in horror.
So big, we stretch it across 2. Are we going to start with series or are we going to start with games?
I say we start with games and then we do series.
Fair.
I'm much more interested in series, so I think everyone is, so we'll do that last.
Yeah, I'm sure that is true of our whole audience if Rob says that it's true.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. First
Did
category.
you know on The Sims you can trap people in like a pool and they can't get out if you remove the ladder and they'll just die?
You have a knack of me saying, all right, and noting down now because I have to. All right, I got to remove this, remember to remove that. And you'll say something so stupid that I now have to leave in certain things to make it make sense. Appreciate that about you, you son of a bitch. All right. The best horror game released in 2024.
Who's doing? Are you handling this category?
Yeah.
All right. We didn't talk about any of this shit. Normally we have a plan. I feel like we normally have a plan. This is falling apart fast.
Yeah, normally when you do something, when it's the 4th time you've done it, I mean, it's a blueprint at that point. It's not really planning.
You're going to do this. Who's doing series? Because I don't know.
Rob, I'm dropping a plan in chat for you.
Oh, okay.
All right.
That's a good plan.
Now I have to stop. Hold on.
Crazy alien! Get the fuck out of here! Go ahead, go back to turning tricks and old folk and you pain in the ass!
It's the Gabagooey Mystery Corner, where our listeners make fun of me for being Italian. Holy shit. All right. I just read it. I seen it, but now I read it. Forgot about this. This is not a plan for the Slashies. It was a racist ambush is what it was. And this is, I said that already, where our listeners make fun of me for being Italian. They anonymously send in Italian memes, and I do my best to describe them on the show, and the memes themselves go up on Patreon. This kind of has to do with gaming. Like, isn't this like this looks like one of those little stickers they put on games for like the ratings?
Yeah, this is one of those advisory warning things.
Yeah. I for Italians. Next to it. This is bullshit. Like, do these people who submit these and the both of you, like, do you take into consideration like my ancestors? Like, do you know if my grandfather was alive today and knew I was doing this show, he might like this segment on the show, he might disown me?
No,
I don't think so.
I mean, he would disapprove of you, but he would do that anyway.
Yeah, he'd be very angry. Next to that, it says, make it a pizza.
You got to do the voice.
No, I'm not doing the fucking voice.
Do you want to let Rob do the voice? Because that's not better, right?
Rob is not doing the voice. Make it a pizza. Make it a pasta. Only do a little mafia. That is, the mafia does not exist. It's not real. It's not true. That's not right.
Oh shit! Did Mikey get hired to the mafia while I was gone?
He's been working for the mafia forever.
I've always said that. It's not real. It doesn't exist. We don't talk about this thing.
One time I asked Mikey what he did. He said he worked for a transportation company. What the fuck do you think he does?
Well, yeah. All right.
This is not what I did either, by the way. So,
I'm not asking you more questions about what Mikey does. I just listened to the funny ass stories from his job.
There were some stories. Yeah, this is not right. I don't like this at all. The mafia reference is completely out of line. We don't.
It's just not right because you didn't sell it with the enthusiasm that it deserves.
Yeah, you needed to do the voice.
Yeah.
I sold it with the exact amount of enthusiasm that it deserved.
Make it a pizza, make it a pasta, only do a little mafia. That's how you do it.
I should bleep that, you son of a bitch. Hope the listeners are happy. This is supposed to be a classy event. I got a fucking tuxedo on, stained with sriracha. I'm drinking pink champagne. This is what has to happen. Travesty. The traffic. I was tricked as well. At least I can normally prepare mentally, which you guys know is very important to me with these Italian memes. I was ambushed just now.
I also am outraged on your behalf, Mikey.
The listeners want what the listeners want, Mikey.
All right. Can we get to Slashie stuff now?
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
We still don't know who's handling the series stuff, though.
Cat's handling the series stuff. There's 3 categories.
Okay. All right. Then why do I even have access to the thing?
Because you're going to need it for tomorrow. And I thought maybe you want to follow along a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
I'll remove you right now. I'll sleep better tonight. Right.
I can send you another plan if you want.
No, we're good. We got it straightened up. All right. Best horror game released in 2020. There's a lot of competition here. I feel like this one last year, Texas Chainsaw, I believe, if I remember correctly, kind of ruled all. And looking into the winners of these categories, there's a lot of diversity here, which I like a lot. So, A Quiet Place, The Road Ahead, Alan Wake 2, The Lake House, The Casting of Frank Stone, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, The Game, Silent Hill 2, and Still Wakes the Deep. Do we have any favorites here, guys?
Well, I can tell you I have not played any of these games. I did vote, however, for Alan Wake 2 because I heard the most good things about that one.
Okay. Pat, what about you?
I voted for Alan Wake 2, which I did play. It was not the only one of these that I played, but it was the one that I played Silent Hill 2, but we talk about this every year. I don't put as much weight in remasters as I do in new games and new content. Yeah. So,
and I was looking forward to the casting of Frank Stone, and then I kind of forgot about it, and then it was released, and I didn't hear anyone talking about it, so I never played it.
I mean, I heard a lot of talk about it. Obviously, I pay attention to behavior and Dead by Daylight stuff the most out of us. So, it was in my face a good amount. It did come and go quickly.
Yeah.
I noticed that. My vote, also, Kat, the remaster thing, I agree with you. We talked about it on the Patreon show.
Yeah.
I feel like this one's a little different because it's Silent Hill.
It is a little bit different.
A little,
and actually, if I'm being really honest, I think I had more, I'm not even done getting all of the Silent Hill 2 endings. Right. I'm still playing it. I feel like I'm going to get more long-term enjoyment out of it. It might be my favorite of the games, but I was more excited by Alan Wake 2, It felt like more of an experience that I had to wait for, and that kind of gave it the weight to carry it through.
Yeah. I also voted for Alan Wake 2. A lot of these are single player games. All these. I didn't play Still Wakes the Deep either. So I don't know if that's single player. I haven't looked into that much at all, honestly, but I have seen gameplay of all of these games. I played Killer Clowns from Outer Space. The Casting of Frank Stone, I've seen probably the most gameplay from, but it didn't win me over enough to vote for it. I'll be honest about that. And that's only honestly because of the quality of the other 2 options that I was really in between was Silent Hill 2 and Alan Wake 2. I also did vote for Alan Wake 2. Pretty much for the reasons that Kat said. It was, it's brand new content, Silent Hill, it's a whole thing. But the winner of the Slashie Award goes to Silent Hill 2 by a huge margin.
Wow. Yeah. It really it cleaned up. People like that game. I'm
not surprised. It's great.
I think the problem is the people who voted in this, none of them played The Sims.
That was the problem.
All right. So Silent Hill 2 gets the win. The second closest here was Casting of Frank Stone, followed by Alan Wake 2. So that's kind of wild.
Oh, wow. I thought Alan Wake 2 was at least going to be second.
Me too. Casting of Frank Stone, there was a lot of hype because Supermassive and Behavior, 2 companies like that coming together is kind of a big deal. So I think
that's why I was excited about it because it was Supermassive and I love their games.
Yeah.
But then I just heard nothing about it. And I was kind of like, ooh, maybe it's not good.
It's good. I liked it. It's just, again, single player is not for me. And, Alan Wake and Silent Hill, like that's tough competition.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Next award is the best indie horror game that was released in 2024. Nominees are Content Warning, Crow Country, Mouthwashing, Pacific Drive, Still Wakes the Deep, and Zoocosis. Do you guys have any? I'm not too familiar with a lot of these. I'm not gonna lie, but are you guys?
I only played Mouthwashing, and so that's what I voted for.
I didn't play any of them. My vote went to Content Warning because I had heard of it. I was pretty sure you made up half of these titles. Like Mouthwashing, like I was like, oh, he's just fucking around. That's not even a real thing.
That's the only one that I played.
Zoocosis, like, come on, that's not a game. What is
that one might be fake.
No, Zoocosis is not fake. And Zoocosis actually is the title that I voted for. And that's mostly me not being very familiar with the rest of these. I only have a select few games that I play. And, indie games kind of take a minute to hit my radar because there's, especially hard, there's so many of them.
Yeah.
And to keep up with it, I've been asked by quite a few people to play Content Warning. I'm probably going to play that next out of all of these, only because I have friends that play it. But Crow Country, I wasn't familiar with at all. Still Wakes the Deep. Like I said, wasn't familiar with at all. Zoocosis is pretty much somebody trapped in a zoo with these they look like normal zoo animals, like giraffes and shit, but then they turn into these crazed zombie looking things, and it looks insane. EyeRChris introduced me to this, but the winner of the Slashie Award is Mouthwashing.
Yeah.
By 38.2%, largest margin by a good amount.
So what is that? You just brush your teeth and then use the mouthwash?
Yeah, it's scary. Yeah. If you don't mouthwash enough, the dentist shows up and smacks you.
It's terrifying.
Content Warning came in second. Zoocosis, not Zoocosis. Still Wakes the Deep came in third on this one. Zoocosis, not a lot of love at 7.9%.
Because everybody thinks it's made up.
It looks like a fun game. All right. The best multiplayer game released in 2024. The nominees are Content Warning, Helldivers 2, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the game, Murky Divers, No More Room in Hell 2, and Once Human.
Wow.
I'll admit, I had a bit of a time finding there were not a lot of multiplayer horror games released this last year. And that's kind of the thing. There's really just not a lot of multiplayer horror games that are released. And I think Helldivers was a little bit of a stretch for horror, but I do feel comfortable with it being in there. What did you guys vote for?
Well, so you were talking about how you don't play the single player games. I am not a huge fan of multiplayer horror. So right. I voted by which one has been the most fun for me to watch. And that hands down Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Okay. I went in a very opposite direction on this because I had only heard of Content Warning and Killer Clowns from Outer Space. And so normally I would vote for the one that I'd heard the most about or whatever. This time, however, I voted for No More Room in Hell 2 because it has the coolest name.
Wow. So you tainted the voting pool is what you're saying here.
I'd like to think I lifted it up.
If Killer Clowns loses by one vote, I'm going to sue Rob.
I honestly, if you were to have given me this list of games last year and said, what do you think you're going to vote for by the end of the year? It would have been Killer Clowns from Outer Space all day. Having played Killer Clowns from Outer Space, I could not give it.
It's fun to watch.
It is fun to watch.
The trick is that you're not watching it.
But my experience I've watched people play it, and honestly, I've gotten bored quick. My experience of playing this game is dying quickly, dying for stupid ass reasons, and even clowns putting me in the cotton candy cocoon. This is an actual thing that happened multiple times. Putting me in the cotton candy cocoon, humping the cotton candy cocoon, and putting me on that little machine hook thing and standing in front of it and smacking it and screaming all types of slurs at.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. That sounds pretty awesome.
It was not.
I was just going to ask if it was Rob.
Or being thrown off of the map in the cotton candy cocoon intentionally. So I just free fall and stare at that until the screen goes black and I'm dead. This game has a lot of problems. And as much as I love the title itself, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, I could not give this my vote. And I voted for the only other game in here that I had played. And it is the most insanely frustrating game. One of the most insanely frustrating games I've ever played. And that is Murky Divers. I played this game twice on easy mode. I do not want to know what this game looks like on any other harder mode than that. I got it not. It's pretty much Lethal Company. Kat, are you familiar?
Yeah.
Okay. It's pretty much that, but in the ocean. Holy shit. Do you get your ass tore up by these creature things any chance they get? But
okay, you didn't ask me if I was familiar with Lethal Company.
Are you familiar with Lethal Company, Rob?
No.
That is why I did not ask you. All right. So the winner of the best multiplayer horror game released in 2024, and there's really shouldn't be much of a surprise here, but it's Helldivers 2. That was a huge title. All
right. I mean, good for that. I have no idea what that game is. Do people dive into hell?
I don't know exactly. I didn't play it. It's got more of a shooter aesthetic to it, but there's enough around it that I feel, like I said, I feel comfortable putting it in.
All right.
Also, I really like how Mikey's doing like a good job describing the games for those of us that haven't played them. Whereas when it was my turn to describe a game, I just made shit up to irritate Rob.
I should do that more often. By fire with fire.
I think it's why you're hosting the games category. I can't be trusted.
All right. Next category is the horror single player game of the year. And this does not have to be a game that was released necessarily in 2024, but just something that is active and releasing content in the year of 2024.
So it could be The Sims.
No, cannot be.
They put out new DLC.
It should have been Stardew Valley, honestly.
Could have been Stardew Valley. That's a great game.
It also had DLC.
But they're not horror games, though.
You're fighting monsters. You got to go into the mines and fight monsters.
There is a cursed channel in Stardew Valley where if you kill your children, they will attack you on Halloween.
Fair enough. But I've seen enough sunshine, rainbows, and weeds I had to cut in Stardew Valley in the sun. And that cute little dog. I love that dog. But anyway, the nominees are A Quiet Place, The Road Ahead, Amanda the Adventurer, Alan Wake 2, The Cabin Factory, The Casting of Frank Stone, Five Nights at Freddy's Into the Pit, The Mortuary Assistant, Resident Evil 4, The Remaster, Silent Hill 2, and Zoocosis. You guys have a favorite here?
I also voted for Alan Wake 2. I had kind of a crisis of conscience here because I had felt bad about not voting for Silent Hill 2. And then when I got to this point, I was like, well, I can even it out. And then it was like, no, I've got to be consistent. So I voted for Alan Wake 2. I doubled down.
Robert, I think I know what you voted for here.
What do you think I voted for?
Mortuary Assistant.
I did 100% voted for the Mortuary Assistant. I watched people play this game and I thought it was really cool. So I never played it myself, but I did watch a lot of people playing that game. I thought it was really cool. And I also laughed really hard at The Cabin Factory. Like, what, do you just work at a factory making cabins? Like, you saw the logs or something? What's going on with that game?
I also voted for the Mortuary Assistant. I have not played this game yet. I have been asked by people to play this game. So, and I've been meaning to as well. So, and I still see people playing it like on Twitch and stuff to this day. So it's still a very strong title. I feel like it got something like a console release or like a console release was announced or something along those lines. But, you know, the Mortuary Assistant is still more than active. And I feel like they just had like a Christmas thing that they did or something. So they're still adding content. It's still strong and viable. And honestly, arguably the best game on here, like all considered, you know, like I was just talking about this game the other day. The simplicity of this game. And you have games like Demonologist and Phasmophobia that are very similar, but Demonologist is a lot more in depth. But I love the simplicity of Phasmophobia. And I love that they took something so simple and were able to make it genuinely terrifying. And you see a lot of simple games, content warning and whatever else. And I just feel like that there's something to be said about that. Like you could look at stuff like Resident Evil 4, Alan Wake 2, Silent Hill 2, and they had a ton of money behind them. Mortuary Assistant didn't have none of that shit. And they still were able to be arguably the scariest game on this list.
All right.
But the winner of the best horror single player game of the year is Silent Hill 2, 30.1%.
It's good for Silent Hill 2.
Yeah, I agree. Second place on here was the Resident Evil 4 remaster and the casting of Frank Stone. Alan Wake 2 and the Mortuary Assistant just outside of that third place spot. It's fair. I mean,
fair.
It's hard to argue with Silent Hill 2. I feel like the starved fans of it all really pushed this. Like they got something and they're so happy about it.
Yeah, the Silent Hill, we were talking in the Patreon episode about my frustration with the constant wave of new content for Resident Evil fans that's just remastered. It's a different vibe in the Silent Hill fandom. Like they're starving, you know, anytime they get any kind of scrap, it's like a big deal.
Yeah.
They're cleaning up this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very much like when it rains, it pours situation for Silent Hill this year.
Yeah.
And it's deservable. It's deserved too. Like, it's hard to argue. Like, they did a phenomenal job on the game.
Yeah.
Okay. The best multiplayer horror game of the year. And again, same as single player. This doesn't necessarily have to be a game that was released in 2024, just something that's active enough to be considered. The nominees are Content Warning, The Back Rooms, Dead by Daylight, Demonologist, Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the game, Rob's favorite game, Lethal Company, The Outlast Trials, Phasmophobia, Sons of the Forest 2, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the game. Favorites here?
I mean, clearly I voted for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the game. I was so good at it. How could I not love it?
Right, bastard. You played one time and I carried you.
I finished undefeated, carried me. I had like 10 points less than you.
That character was glitched and they fixed it.
I did so much in that round.
Kat, what about you? I know this isn't really up you guys' alley, so it's kind of like single player with me. It's tough.
I think I also voted for Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the game. This one was a little bit tougher for me because there were more that I had seen. I considered Killer Clowns because it's fun to watch. I considered The Backrooms because it was also fun to watch. But I'm pretty sure I voted for Texas Chainsaw here. And a big reason is because I just think that, like, if I were going to play one of these, it would be Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, if one won me over as a player, that would be the one.
Also, the video of me playing the game had to be the really best gameplay video
to watch
you saw.
Rob play. I will say I got a little bored of the gameplay of watching other people play it, but Rob was a master at this, and it was incredible to watch.
A master.
He took care of Grandpa.
The man who finally found Grandpa and then said, does he have another chair? Yeah. Winner.
I did all that running around trying to find him. I was tired. I needed to sit down.
You did a lot of running around the same spot that you were stuck.
You had to be guided over to him, if I remember correctly.
Handheld is what happened. But the Slashie goes to, in a large margin, Dead by Daylight, 59.6%.
Another game I dominate on a regular basis.
That is not true. You know, remember we did that thing with fricking Nick for his Hooked Ones? Yeah. He was live today on Twitch and he was doing another Hooked Ones thing. And that one girl that we played with was in there, Rob. And I said hi to her and said, Nick Cage down. And she loves that shit. Every time I see her in his chat say that, she gets so happy. But yeah, I mean, look, Dead by Daylight, it is by far the most active as far as producing content and like you're talking huge licenses. Last year we seen, Castlevania and like all these things that are put into the game. Like it's really hard. As much as I love the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I love Phasmophobia, Demonologist is fun, Killer Clowns gave it its best. Content Warning's a big deal. Like a lot of people, Lethal Company as well. Outlast Trials had its moment too, but it's just really, really hard to dethrone this game, right? So, I mean, I feel like it deserved it. people can say what they want. I understand there's a lot of people on different sides of the fence, but it's hard to argue.
That's fair.
Yeah. The next award is for the best studio of 2024. And the nominees are Behavior Interactive for Dead by Daylight and the casting of Frank Stone. Hey, Game Studio, I probably fucked that up. For Slitterhead.
That sounds dirty.
What's wrong? Ilphonic for the Kilograms from Outer Space. Konami Digital Entertainment for the Silent Hill 2. Remedy Entertainment for Alan Wake 2. And Saber Interactive for A Quiet. Where were you guys going with this one?
I'm going to level with you. I voted for the one that's the funniest on social media, which is, of course, Konami Digital Entertainment. They're constantly providing me with good memes.
That's fair.
Nice. I voted for Saber Interactive because the name reminded me of The Office when they think it's called Sabre.
Sabre.
Yeah, and I really enjoyed that.
Fair enough.
So I took this super serious.
Clearly. I voted for Behavior Interactive. Kind of just like copy and paste everything I said about the last award. They're so active, and Konami's went hard with Silent Hill 2, and they're going to have a lot more stuff coming out. But I mean, it's hard to argue to put up one project that was released last year. I don't know. There might have been multiple. I don't know. Again, single player, I don't really keep up with as much as multiplayer. But either way, it doesn't compare to the amount of content that Behaviors put. They put out a whole game in casting of Frank Stone was super massive. So yeah.
I do kind of want to throw this out here because it's a prediction, as well as this could age poorly in like the next 2 minutes. But Behavior puts so much work into their games, and I would probably vote for them like in earnest every time in another award show. But we have, like, they're a friend of the show. We have so much crossover with Behavior fans. I'm confident that they're about to win this thing. I was confident when I voted, and I'm going to feel really silly and a little bit guilty if they don't win. And I'm like out here voting for memes, but
yeah,
I'm comfortable voting for Sabre.
God damn it. Well, the winner of the Best Studio 2024 and the receiver of the Slashie for this award is Behavior Interactive. But, Kat, I will say this. I was eyeballing the awards and who was winning and everything every so often. Konami was winning this for a minute.
Was it when I voted? Was I trend-setting the Konami vote?
No, it was 43.5% to 33.1%. So it's a little bit of a margin. Okay. But Konami was winning for like, and I'm talking like a fat minute, where I was like, holy shit, and kind of shocked. But yet Behavior ended up pulling that.
Konami does really good. You know, if you're not following Konami and the Konami fans on Twitter, you're missing out. They're entertaining.
Yeah, they are a good follow on social media. Okay, the best DLC release / update of 2024. And the nominees are Dead by Daylight for their All Things Wicked chapter. Fortnite for the Billy the Puppet collaboration. Castlevania, Dead by Daylight for their Castlevania chapter. Dead by Daylight for their Dungeons and Dragons chapter. Killer Clowns from Outer Space for their Elvira collaboration. Fortnite for their Texas Chainsaw / Leatherface collaboration. Phasmophobia for their console update. That was a huge undertaking. I feel like they deserve it, a nod for that. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the game, for their Rush Week. And Killer Clowns from Outer Space, the game, for their Tom Savini collaboration. You guys have any favorites here?
This one, I did, in fact, vote for Dead by Daylight. I voted for the Dungeons and Dragons chapter. It was a lot of fun to talk to them about that. And I think they did a really good job paying homage to the actual game. So very impressed.
I have zero recollection of what I voted for. I can tell you I did not vote for Billy the Puppet. Beyond that, I do not know. I feel like maybe Elvira, but I don't remember.
That's fair. I voted for Dead by Daylight for their All Things Wicked chapter. It's introduced Sable, the survivor, and the unknown as a killer into the game. We actually covered, I think we were the only ones who covered this chapter release with Behavior. And you guys can go listen to that. It's on YouTube. It's on this feed here. I loved the found footage style teasers that they were throwing out for this. It was so much fun. It kept you guessing. You had no fucking idea. And Sable's, I mean, I catch a lot of shit. She's the most loved and most hated character in the game. Like, that says a lot. I love Sable. And the Unknown is just, his design is so cool. So, you know, all things considered, it was mostly the promotion that brought me here. But they did a phenomenal job with the promotion and also executing. The map was cool. It was a fucking movie theater. Like, what's not to love about that? And yeah, I feel like this was the best chapter release they've had all in all in a long time.
Yeah, the map, I don't like any of the maps in Dead by Daylight because they all frustrate the shit out of me. But the map does look cool, like the movie theater and stuff.
Yeah.
And Sable, she looks like Stevie Nicks. I'm not going to complain about that.
Yeah. I catch a lot of shit for Sable, but, you know, everybody's just a hater. Sable's amazing. But the Slashie for the best DLC / update of 2024 goes to Dead by Daylight for All Things Wicked by 40.4%.
Right.
Yeah. Second here was Dead by Daylight for the Castlevania chapter. And third was Phasmophobia for their console update. Bravo to the voters.
Nice.
I mean, I feel like they should have got more, but I mean, it's fair. At least they got some love.
It's an honor just being nominated.
Yeah, we take these really seriously, guys.
Yeah. Sabre. All right. The best content creator of 2024. I feel like this was a really hard list to put together. Like, I really tried to, obviously there's Dead by Daylight content creators in here. Some of them are friends of the show, but I tried my best to do my homework, and I asked several people that because like I only really watch my friends on Twitch. Like, I'm not like an avid viewer of Twitch. So like, I'm not really familiar with people outside of, and you know, like we have friends of the show just from our stuff with Behavior and everything that just kind of naturally happened. So I went out of my way to find horror variety streamers to kind of mix in here. But the nominees are Ashlina, Captain Fister. What do you think about that name, Rob?
No, hey. It's a family show.
Die Hard Diva, Freaking Nick, JG Dark, MF Boogeyman, Michaelinator, Polyester, Punkster, and Schmuckles. I don't think you guys watch any of these. So how did you come to pick your votes?
I had a hard time with this one. Ultimately, I voted for frickin' Nick, and I will tell you why. It's because he is the only one of these people who followed me back on Twitter. Everybody else can suck it.
Petty motherfucker, you.
I even unfollowed some of them that I was following because they didn't follow me back.
You are a petty motherfucker. I'm not going to lie. Would be interesting, though, if you get some follows off of bitching about this, but shame on you one way or another.
Shout out to freaking Nick.
Nick is amazing. I will admit I like Nick a lot. This was super hard for me. And honestly, I don't remember exactly who I voted for, but my thought process in my head, I probably voted for Polyester. I spend the most time in his chats. His community is fucking amazing.
Might have voted for him. He had some really funny videos and stuff, but you know what he didn't do? He didn't follow me back on Twitter. So guess what, buddy? You're out. Don't even follow you now. Kiss my ass.
You are unbelievable. But yeah, I love Paulie. He's become a friend of mine, and you know, but it's hard because a lot of these people, and we know how hard content creation is, you know, and these guys are live, and that's a whole nother animal to deal with. So. Yeah, this was hard. I think I voted for Paulie though, but all these guys deserve it. All these guys, all of them deserve it. But the winner, and probably the closest margin.
I want to talk about who I voted for.
Oh, I'm sorry, Kat. I apologize. Yes.
Rude asshole.
I'm sorry. I'm drunk. I'm pink champagne drunk.
He's white girl wasted, Rob.
Correct.
He sure is. He's over there basic bitch drunk.
No, I put a lot of time and consideration into this one. This is not a joke. I actually kind of beat myself up over this category because we've got some friends of the show on here. I don't watch a lot of them just because I get most of my gaming content from YouTube. So the Twitch stuff I'm constantly behind on. And I thought about people that we've talked to and people that interacted with the show the most. And I almost abstained because I didn't want to show like any kind of favoritism. And I knew I was going to have to talk about it on the show. And then when I remembered that I was going to have to announce who I voted for on the show, I decided to vote for Schmuckles because that would be the most fun one to say. That's just a great name.
Dude, it's so hard for me to pick because Schmuckles, like, I'm probably the closest with out of anybody on this list. Like, and I spent a lot of time in Shoes chat, and he's awesome. Like, his gameplay, his knowledge of the game, all that stuff, A+, A+, A+. It's just super hard, you know, but like I find myself like Paulie, if I'm listening to his stream while I'm doing whatever, the dude makes me laugh. Like I actually laugh out loud with Paulie. And it's hard. Like Die Hard Diva is amazing. Fister's fucking awesome. Like I laugh in his chat too. This one was really hard, but I'm glad this is also the first time we've had a content creator category for the awards. And I'm glad that we finally, I was meaning to do it last year and I just never got around to it, but
yeah. But I mean, you guys talking about friends of the show and everything. I feel like maybe they're not great friends if they're not following me back on Twitter. So
they're following Slasher Radio, though. A lot of them.
Correct.
They're not following me personally either, but like they're friends of the show.
No, they can all go straight to hell. All of them but Nick. Nick is the only real one.
I'll tell you what, I don't think Paulie's following me on my personal account either.
Well, I don't blame him.
I would be that as it may. It's fine. I don't care either. But
follow you on your personal account either, but it fucks up our group chat.
Only when you block him.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I'm just saying I didn't hold it against anybody. Who cares? You're over there being followed, Petty, on Twitter.
Just saying.
All right. But the slashie goes to Captain Fister.
That was because of the name, right?
No, I don't think it's because of
the name.
If people were voting for the name, they would have voted for Schmuckles because that's fun to say.
It is fun to say. But no, Fister's community is awesome. I spent a good amount of time in his chat as well. Another dude that makes me laugh. He is insane at Dead by Daylight. Like the dude just fucking around does shit where I'm like, damn, man, like that's wild. But there was it wasn't the margin was not huge here. Second place went to Polyester. I'm happy to see that. And third place went to Die Hard Diva. We do have JG Dark for a close narrowing in on that top 3 spot. But, you know, all these guys are great content creators. And like I said, we know how much work goes into it and they go above and beyond for what they do. So, and there was a lot of interaction with this, a lot of support for this award show. And we appreciate them for that. And honestly, I wish they could all win. We'll
get it next time, Nick. Don't worry about it.
I hope so, man. Nick deserves it. Nick will bust his ass, man. It's hard. I want all of them to win. The Boogeyman, Rob, he streams in a Ghostface mask every time, like full on Ghostface outfit.
You get hot in that thing?
Dude, that's what I'm saying. How hard it is to play Dead by Daylight in itself and all the other games that he plays. You're going to do it in a mask? That's hard, dude.
All right. Well, you get a little support. You follow me on Twitter.
Again, someone else who doesn't follow me personally either, by the way.
Again, I don't blame him.
Again, be that as it may. Stop being follower Betty. All right. The most anticipated horror game of 2025. The nominees are Directive 8020, Core, Dying Light, Jurassic Park, Survival, Killing Floor. Having a white background and gray lettering does not work when you're white girl, pink champagne drunk. I have to say that. Killing Floor 3, Little Nightmares 3, Silent Hill, Townfall. Do you guys have a favorite here?
I voted for Silent Hill Townfall because it was my longest anticipated. Okay. There are actually a couple that I might be looking forward to a little bit more, but I've been waiting for Silent Hill Townfall for a long time.
Okay.
I don't think there's any real question about what I voted for. Of course, it was Directive 8020 by Supermassive.
I really thought you were going to say Jurassic Park, so you could say Sabre again.
No. I love the Supermassive games. This is the next installment in their dark anthology thing. And I'm looking forward to playing it just as well. It looks like it's sort of an alien kind of thing or something. So I'm looking forward to checking that out. Jurassic Park Survival, I did not vote for, Cat, because the last time I played a Jurassic Park game, I built an entire park and then accidentally dropped a dinosaur outside of the enclosure and it ate everyone.
Amazing.
The picturing of Rob going, shit. Yes.
Yeah. So it was like a park builder, which, I love those kind of games. I already spent a long time building this park, but you have to fly in the dinosaurs by like a helicopter and sort of drop them out into the enclosure. And I missed. That's why a lot of people got eaten.
That's amazing that's a mechanic of the game where, like, if you miss the drop.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Kind of over. We couldn't recapture him. I tried to send a helicopter up and get him. It got knocked down. It was a fucking mess.
I had a similar issue where I deleted a wall, but it was so early on in the game. It was a little dinosaur, so it didn't do that much damage. And I got him back in there pretty quick. But you seem to really function.
Yeah. I'm not looking forward to any more Jurassic Park games after that. I can tell you that. It is much like you've seen me, Mikey, lately. I've been playing a lot of Prison Architect. You have to be careful in that game. I've accidentally deleted the wrong wall and just seen a stream of prisoners flood out. You have to be real careful.
And again, a moment where I could picture Rob. Oh shit! Oh shit!
Yeah, there's nothing you can do about it. He's got to kind of let him go. I guess that's parole for you now.
Okay, all right. That's fucking hilarious. I voted for Jurassic Park Survival. This game looks incredible. The trailer is amazing. I'm talking as far as like visually. It is stunning. And I don't know how they achieved some of the realism that they achieved in this game, but it looks amazing. And it's fucking Jurassic Park, dude. Like, I'm going to play the shit out of this thing. Single player, sure. Not up my alley, but it's Jurassic Park. I get to fuck around with some dinosaurs, so I'm there.
Rob can teach you how to fly them in.
Yeah. If you have to drop them, just be real careful.
And I was very disappointed because I seen a Jurassic Park game. I know the one you're talking about. I played it and I was like, holy shit, a Jurassic Park game. Let's fucking go. And it was just a park builder. I was like, man, motherfucker. Also gave up on that game because apparently there's a part where you have to wrangle a dinosaur. Like intentionally, it's supposed to be out. I could not find that motherfucker and never played the game again.
Well, that's how you get the dinosaurs for your park. You have to go out and wrangle them and bring them in. And you wrangle them, you get them into a cage. The cage is attached to a helicopter. You lower the cage from the helicopter. And if you don't get it in the enclosure, they eat every fucking person.
I was going to say, there was a part where Rob had to wrangle a big dinosaur.
He had to re-wrangle dinosaur. All right. Shit, that is a funny thought. Are you sitting there in your drawers trying to get this dinosaur back in? Is really funny to me. The final award in the gaming category.
Did we announce the winner?
Oh, fuck. No, I didn't, huh? I'm telling you, I don't know how white women do it, man. You get white girl wasted. It's wild.
I really I kind of want to laugh about this, but I also have to read gray text on white background from 2 screens next with Cutwater. So I'm kind of on shaky ground to throw stones or whatever.
Wait till you're done and then reevaluate. That's true. You got Cutwater to deal with. Yeah. All right. The winner of this award, the Slashie, goes to Little Nightmares 3 by Supermassive.
Nice.
It's fair. Not mad at that. Second place was Silent Hill Townfall. And third was Jurassic Park Survival. I'm all right with that. Not mad at all. But the final award in the gaming categories is a Spotlight Award. It's going to go to someone. There's a Spotlight Award. And I felt like this was important. There's so much volatile shit that goes on in the gaming community in itself, like just generally speaking. But the developers catch it so fucking bad. And I'm talking because, some of the nominees in here have mentioned it publicly on their social media and even just common knowledge. Like you see it all the time, death threats and all this shit over a fucking video game. And they catch it so badly and people bitch over the smallest things. And it's absolutely wild, the shit that they put up with. And not only that, the fact that what they do is insanely difficult in the first place. So just a nod to how difficult their jobs are to perform and to learn and to know how to do in itself is wild. So I figured I would just pick a few people that I thought were deserving of this Spotlight Award. And the first is Wes Keltner from Gun Interactive, friend of the show. They worked on Friday the 13th. They worked on Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the game. He's so caring about and appreciative of the people that work at Gun and always make sure to shout them out. I never see him pat himself on the back, and it's always everybody else. He posts pictures of the snack bar and like just shit like that. And every single person I've talked to at Gun, Damian Maffei has worked with them on Texas Chainsaw, and he does nothing but speak highly of them. And the whole team has become personal friends with a lot of people on the team. We just talked to David Howard Thornton, who was invited, and the whole Terrifier team over to play. They love this genre and they go so above and beyond. And I believe maybe it doesn't start with Wes, but even if it doesn't, he's so involved and so passionate to make sure to get those little things right because he's a fan and he understands horror fans notice those things. So Wes was like the first person I thought of when I wanted to do this award. But the second is Dork from Behavior Interactive. She's one of, I'm not sure exact positions or anything like that, but she is one of the leading members, I believe. She's a member of their community team. And I've seen firsthand the things that people bitch about on this game. Like, go to the websites and the Twitter accounts and, you know, whatever other social media. And I've scrolled through the comments and, you know, all these things and the hashtags and everything. And this company deals with a lot of shit. I mean, a lot of shit. And Dork and everybody else on their community teams, they're like front row of having to deal with that bullshit. And we've talked to Matthew Cote about some of it before and like all the shit on Reddit and everything else that like they are very, very aware. And these are the guys that are up front dealing with it first. And Dork is become more and more involved, their live streams and their social media. And you can kind of see her fingerprint on things with their social media and how things have changed and try to become more fun and interactive with, you know, the players and everything else. Also, she makes it no secret that she was just a fan of this game and was able to learn a craft and learn certain things to be able to get a position like this in her dream role with her dream company. And dude, there's something super commendable about that and the hard work that's behind that. I mean, I couldn't imagine. So definitely felt like that was name 2. That was, you know, right there along with Wes when I was thinking about this award. Third is Randy Greenback. Randy was a past guest on this show. He was heading the Killer Clowns from Outer Space game. I didn't get a chance to go back and listen to our interview with him. This was like when the show first started. And he worked with Gunn back then and he was working on Friday the 13th. And I believe he said he always wanted to make a Killer Clowns from Outer Space game. And all the work that it took to get that Friday the 13th game off the ground and up and running and all the passion that was put behind it, little details from the films that they made sure to get in there. He was involved with that. And for him to see it through, despite how good or bad the game is or what you feel about it, to see it through of something he's always wanted to do and to be able to go off on his own and bet on himself and make that game happen. Dude, I mean, that's respectable as fuck. Also, CJ is the next nominee from Phasmophobia. Those guys work crazy hard on that game. They have a super small team. It is a super simple game, like I talked about earlier, but they were able to achieve so much interaction between players. They're building so much and adding so much and constantly trying to make their game better. And they were able to take this simple, small game that was supposed to be a $5, $10 game on Steam that you would play a couple times and forget about. There's so many of those on Steam, and they were able to push it ahead of all of that. And they're on fucking consoles. And that was a fucking battle for years for them to even get done. And they announced it and it was pushed back and it was pushed back. And people thought it was never even going to happen because that's how far back it kept getting pushed, but they made sure to get it done. And it was fucking seamless. Like I played with people on console. Leo plays on console, Rob. I played Phasmophobia with him. Seamless. So for them to be able to achieve that and to make this tiny little game that on paper should have been nothing into what it is wild. So I feel like all of them, especially CJ, but everybody over on Phasmophobia and Kinetic Games, they, deserve credit for that. All of that being said, it's hard to put all that into a fucking description. So it needed to be laid out of the damn show. And I was dreading doing it, but it's not. All right.
Yeah.
Who did you guys vote for in this one?
I voted for Wes. We have heard really great things about him and what it's like to work with him and everything on the show before. But also, not to bring the mood down, because it's kind of a sweet segment. Friday the 13th has had a rough go of it this last year. So I felt like that needed a little bit of extra commemoration. So that is where I put my vote. That was kind of the deciding factor for me.
That is very true, too. Friday the 13th, they catch so much shit over that. Like it's their fucking fault. And
it is not their fault.
It is not their fucking fault. And people who say they want the game to go down and they deserve it because of what they did, they didn't do shit. Figure out what actually happened. And dude, they put so much passion and time and almost had the game shut down before it even got started and everything. Dude, it hurt them more than anybody to see that game go. Like by light years. For sure. Like this was what brought them to the dance. This is why they're able to do anything they're doing now. So people are stupid. Is the moral of the story.
Yeah.
Rob, what about you?
First of all, none of these people follow me on Twitter.
Motherfucker.
It made it very hard for me to decide who to vote for. Ultimately, I did vote for Wes Keltner also. I do follow him on Twitter, even though he apparently doesn't feel the need to follow me for some reason. But the passion that went into Friday the 13th was obvious. The passion that went into Texas Chainsaw Massacre was obvious. I mean, they nailed the look and the feel of everything from both of those movies in the video game. And also just from like seeing Wes like on social media and stuff and hearing things about him, he sounds like the kind of guy that I would like to work for.
Yes.
And that means a lot to me. So I voted for him, even though, again, none of them follow me on Twitter.
Wes follows me, so you know.
Oh.
Yeah, I feel about that.
Can I vote for Dork?
Does not follow me. Yeah, no, Wes always speaking out for like employees first and, everything else. So my vote also went for Wes. And again, like I've talked to Wes a bunch of times and, Matt at Gunn is amazing and, like they're just great over there. But this was a very tough pick because obviously all these guys deserve and gals deserve the credit for this. But the Slashie does go to, in a large margin, Dork from Behavior Interactive, 70.2%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Dork.
Yeah, Wes and CJ came in second and third on this one. Again, Dork deserving as well, man. Like the shit that they deal with, like a community manager has to deal with any game. Friday the 13th as well. Matt handled that for them a lot, over at Gunn. Like they're the first line of defense for the bitchin'. And that's hard to.
They need somebody like me to have that job.
No,
I can set these people straight coming in with their complaints. Let them know.
All right. That is it for the game.
All right. So on to horror series. Confident that I can read these.
It's
All
hard.
And Kat is doing this category, right?
Yes.
That's
You need
fine.
me to send you the notes.
If it's in the plan,
the plan.
yeah, that'd be good.
I've got more plan. It's like a 64-part plan. All right.
You're not laughing, Mikey.
We lost Mikey.
No, I'm here. You didn't lose me. I'm here.
All right. So nominations for the best horror series of 2024. We've got The Creep Tapes, Hysteria, Chucky, From, Evil, What We Do in the Shadows, American Horror Stories, plural, just in case anyone was confused, and Horror's Greatest. Does anyone remember what they voted for series? I'll say it now. Not the best year for horror series.
It's not.
It was not a strong year.
No.
It was not a strong year. However, there was one of these series that I watched from beginning to end in the course of 2 days and absolutely absolutely loved, and that was Hysteria.
Oh, okay. That's not what I thought you were going to say, Rob.
No, Hysteria did not get a lot of pub or attention for some reason, but it had its first season and it was fantastic. It had a great cast and just a really fun story, and I really liked it.
That's good.
I haven't checked out Hysteria yet. I have seen bits and pieces of it, but my vote, and I felt a little bad about this, but my vote went to the Creep Tapes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Also surprising.
Yeah, like I love the simplicity of it. And I love Creep also. Like the original was good. The second one was good too, but the first one was really, really good. And they really, really captured the vibe of that. And it truly feels like a continuation of that movie. And I love that. Like that's all, like that's what a series based off of a movie should be. It should feel like the movie. And that's what they were able to achieve there. And whatever it cost them to buy the camera is probably about the budget they had for these things. And they were able to achieve really good stuff, man. And I'm a sucker for anthologies. So I went with Creep Tapes.
Also went for Creep Tapes.
Nice.
It was actually my second favorite show on here. But again, on my technicality reasoning that sometimes prevents me from voting for my favorite thing, I felt like Horror's Greatest was too much of a documentary. Like, it wasn't a show that I sat down and watched all the way through at first. You know, it was like I'd have something else to do, so I'd put it on in the back, or I'd watch it while I was eating, or, you know, like I paced it out. And that made it feel less like a show experience and more of just, you know, like an informative. It felt almost more of like a podcast experience to me. I really liked it.
What the hell is it? I don't even know what it is.
It's the Shudder documentary show. It got a new season. They rank different, like they pick a theme, and then they have a bunch of guest people come on and talk about their favorite instances of that theme.
Yeah, they probably all get it wrong anyway.
Like creatures, sometimes Kate Siegel's on. So, you know,
well,
worth watching for her.
Yeah.
She was on this season. But yeah, the Creep Tapes was like a show experience. Like I sat down and binged that whole thing, and it was very satisfying. So that is what I voted for. And our winner by a wide margin with a 43.2% is Chucky.
Here we go again.
Yeah, we've seen this story play out before. I didn't watch a single second of this season of Chucky.
I watched a little bit. I didn't watch full episodes, and that's because season 2 lost me so hard. I don't think it was the strongest on this list.
Yeah, I didn't finish the first season of Chucky, so I wasn't going to watch season 3. Obviously, that wouldn't make any sense. And I don't know, that show there's something about it just didn't work for me from the get-go.
It was weird. I know I've complained about this on the show for me, but I think what didn't work about it for me is that they have like these very adult middle schoolers, and that made it weird.
Yeah, I did think that was kind of a problem. Yeah, for me too. I think something about it just felt wrong. Like the show just didn't feel quite right. I only saw one episode of the Creep Tapes. I'll be honest with you. It was fine. I didn't dislike it, but it wasn't enough that made me go back and watch it. And then I kind of forgot about it.
Fair.
Completely fair. We've got our best season. I was away when we did the nomination form for this. I believe EyeRChris has been telling people I'm in spiral rehab.
Yeah. Also, it should be noted that the format has changed for the Slashies this year. There is no books category because Kat was not around.
Because I was not here. Yeah.
And we weren't sure if she was going to be back in time for the Slashies or not. And it was a sort of thing of like, are Mikey and I going to have to talk about books? Because that's not going to go well.
Yeah, I was going through some detox things. But my favorite season, like my favorite new season of a horror show, did not make this list, guys.
Nice.
I was not pleased to find that when I came back. But just getting ahead of that now, I would have, even though I don't think it was as good, I would have voted for Squid Game season 2 in a minute.
I didn't watch it, and I kind of forgot it was a thing.
It's not as good as season 1, but it was better than any of the shows on the list, and I'll die on that hill.
Well, and again, Hysteria was my big television thing, and I didn't even put it on here because it was only one season.
Right.
And I feel like something that's in its first season is kind of weird to have in the best season category, although we do have some of that.
That makes sense.
It just felt like there's nothing else to compare it to.
And I thought that came out this year because it came out like the tail of last year.
Yeah, it came out December 26th, I think. It was like cutting it real close.
Yeah, that's true. I thought that came out this year. I'm not going to lie.
All right. But the seasons that we do have, we've got The Creep Tapes, The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon, Chucky from Interview with the Vampire, What We Do in the Shadows, American Horror Stories, and Horror's Greatest. Anyone know what they voted for? Anyone invested in the season? Creep Tapes?
I honestly don't remember what I voted for because I didn't watch any of these. It might have been the Creep Tapes because I did watch that one episode and I thought it was good. I don't know. I honestly have no clue. The only other thing it could have been is What We Do in the Shadows, just because I have liked that show in the past, but I did not keep up with the show.
Yeah.
But I don't remember.
I'm going to be honest. I actively disliked a lot of these seasons of television.
I did not vote for The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I was not a fan of The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon. I'm not even watching Chucky anymore. I had a tough time with Interview with the Vampire. I didn't keep up with What We Do in the Shadows. American Horror Stories is one of the worst shows that I'm still watching for some reason. But and The Creep Tapes was good, but again, it really only has the one season. I did vote for Horror's Greatest on this one. Because they got Kate Siegel this season, and who doesn't love to see that?
I feel like having the Creep Tapes here, even though it's only one season of the show, isn't as egregious as like Hysteria.
Right.
Because Hysteria is something completely original. At least with the Creep Tapes, we can kind of look at the movies, and even though I know it's different,
it's still like an installation.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I, for the life of me, don't remember what I voted for in this category. I thought American Horror Stories had been canceled already.
It should have been.
Yeah, I really don't know. What We Do in the Shadows would really be my best guess, but it's a show I haven't kept up with.
I'll say the most overrated thing on this list is What We Do in the Shadow.
Wow.
Here's the thing is that I really like Matt Berry. I was okay with the episodes of this that I watched. You're right, though. Like, this show has such a ride or die fan base, and I do not understand.
It's insane. Like, I don't mind. It's not good.
I don't mind the show. The problem with the show is, though, it just kind of makes me want to go watch the movie, which I think is far superior.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is kind of a weird show, but it's a decent show from what I've seen of it.
I don't like it.
Well, our winner, these do not, I'm having a time over here. These do not display off to the right in winner order like I thought they did. But that's okay because I've been, I had to scroll back up and double check it's the right thing for our last category. But I was reading from the pie chart. We're all good. Our number one, our winner for this with 30% is Chucky.
Sons of bitches.
Every time.
We've seen this story before.
Honestly, though, and look, I am not at all dismissing people seeing Chucky and voting for Chucky. I'm just not. But that whole renewed Chucky thing was very big on Twitter. And as much as I disagree with this, I mean, it might have a genuine fan base. I don't know how, because I don't think season 2 lost me entirely. I was all in on season 1 until like the last episode, I think, or 2. I think it was one episode. But it might have a genuine fan base. And I don't get it. But I just want to throw that, like, again, not dismissing people see Chucky, vote Chucky. But there might be some reality to this to where people are really liking that show. I don't know. But damn, here we go again.
Okay, next we've got Best Series Directors. We've got Issa Lopez for True Detective Night Country. We've got Patrick Bryce for The Creep Tapes. Eduardo Sanchez for Hysteria.
My dude.
Greg Nicotero for The Walking Dead. Daryl Dixon. Yana Gorskaya, What We Do in the Shadows. Max Winkler, American Horror Stories. And Kurt Sayanga for Horror's Greatest.
I voted for my friend. Eduardo Sanchez.
I also voted for Eduardo Sanchez, not because he's my friend or Mikey's friend, but because I really liked his. I think he did 1 or 2 episodes of Hysteria, and I thought they were both really good.
I'm pretty sure I voted for Kurt Sayanga for inviting Kate Siegel. I'm not kidding. That really won me over, guys. Yeah. She's got to be in more stuff.
There's a theme in what we voted for. I voted for anything Hysteria related. Kat voted for Kate Siegel.
Yeah. Well,
I vote for my friends.
All right. Our best series director winner goes to Greg Nicotero for The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon.
All right. Look. Before Rob bitches.
Okay, I'm down.
Just hear me out. I am by light years and galaxies the biggest Walking Dead fan on this show.
Yes. Although I watched more of it than you. So
you did.
Maybe.
You did. Which is probably why I'm the bigger fan, because that thing gets a little out there. But this is not, and I don't like The Walking Dead Daryl Dixon. I've watched a little bit. I'm out. I'm not going to. Best director, though. I'm not mad at Greg Nicotero winning, man. His resume in film is damn near bar none. Like, the shit he has worked on is like, we're talking God tier. And a lot of shit people don't even know he worked on. Like, huge franchises. Like, the elite franchises. And his work is incredible. Effects and everything else. And his dedication to these stories, regardless of whether you like the direction they're going or not. He was an effects guy that like turned out to be like the face of and the main handler of this show, this world, this universe of The Walking Dead. Something to be said about that, man. Come on, Rob.
Listen, Greg Nicotero's awesome. I'm not saying he's not. I love Greg Nicotero, big fan of his work.
Former guest on the show as well.
This show did not deserve to win an award.
But this isn't the show. It's the director, though.
I will say it's the script writing very much so in Daryl Dixon. That's the problem.
Yeah. Let me make sure I'm thinking of the right series, because there were a couple of different Walking Dead spinoffs. This is the one where the guy floated to France on a raft.
You're correct.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's real dumb.
But it was pretty. It was dumb and pretty.
It was pretty. And again, I love Greg Nicotero. I don't like saying that it's stupid. And his name's involved with it, but it's stupid.
But as far as the job of director, you can't be mad at Greg Nicotero winning.
That's fine. It's fine.
All right.
I mean, I would have given it to Eduardo Sanchez, but yeah.
I did too. But still, like it's for director, not the show. Just that job. Dude, Greg Nicotero, you can never be mad. Dude's a legend.
Great. He is great. I do love Greg Nicotero. Just to put that out there. It's just that one particular thing, not a fan of.
All right.
Unfortunately, he's become synonymous with that one particular thing that I'm not a fan of.
I bet he really, really, really wanted the Creep Show thing to take off in a big way. I can promise you that.
I bet he did too. And that was a good show.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, it was a good show. It felt like Creep Show.
Yeah.
I am just fact checking a quick thing. I know I shouldn't be doing this live on the...
I don't like the sound of that.
But I have some questions, right? Well, we have a questionable vote, a questionable nominee in our next category. But I'm going to proceed ahead anyway. All right. Our best actress, we have Ella Purnell from Sweet Pea, Jodie Foster from True Detective Night Country, Julie Bowen from Hysteria, Michael Emerson from Teacup, Katja Herbers from Evil, and Natasha Dimitrov from What We Do in the Shadows. It is worth noting that Michael Emerson is a man who is in Saw and not in Teacup.
Well, damn.
But he sure is in this category.
Like, the best thing about it is, like, he didn't win, but he got some votes.
He sure did.
I wish I would have voted for him. I wonder what the hell I took from that.
That's fun.
I had to make sure, like, because I don't remember. I don't think he was in Teacup at all.
I don't even know what Teacup is.
Full cast list, but I just don't think he was in Saw. If anyone cares, I'm sure it's the most relevant thing.
So what I'm going to guess what happened was I screwed something up. That's the best guess.
I was going to take blame, but I've never heard of Teacup before.
Teacup had like a little flash of popularity.
Yeah. So what I think was there was probably an actress in Teacup that I meant to put there, and somehow I copied Michael Emerson's name into that slot, and then just sort of went done.
And I use copy and paste a lot.
In Evil, which I believe
he's in. Looking ahead, he is also nominated for his role in Evil. That is what happened. Happened. Yeah, that is my guess. It was an actress in Teacup who I meant to put his name there, and somehow copy and pasted Michael Emerson's name in that place instead.
And I also copy and paste.
Let's pretend that this was Yvonne Strahovski from Teacup.
Yeah, let's go with that. He did not win either way.
Yeah,
18 people wanted him to be the best actress, though. So
18 people were probably like, "What? LOL."
For something he wasn't even in. Yeah. So that would be my guess. That was just a copy and paste error.
All right. Well, he didn't win, unfortunately. We do have a tie. We've got a Slashie tie. For? Yeah. Well, I voted for Michael Emerson.
I voted for Julie Bowen, Hysteria, because I really just wanted to win something.
I did as well.
And she's great in it, too. She's very good.
And that was the tie. So
I voted for Jodie Foster because she's the actress that I know the best, even though I have no intention of watching True Detective Night Country.
See, it's funny you say that. I have every intention of watching it. I just keep forgetting that it exists because TV is not something that I don't watch a lot of TV shows.
Yeah.
But I've liked True Detective for the most part, and it's something that I wanted to check out. And I like Jodie Foster a lot. But I just want Hysteria to win something. And I was hoping Julie Bowen's star power might carry it. But apparently people don't like her.
Sorry, I only like Jodie Foster and Michael Emerson. So yes, we do have a tie on this one.
We do.
It wouldn't be a Slashie Awards show in that occasion without a tie.
I don't remember what we did.
It was just announce them both as the winners, right? Like, I mean,
should we each pick one and that'll break the tie like right now? Is that fair?
I mean, we can do that if you want.
Because we would get 590 fucking votes in a goddamn tie.
Yeah, we can do that. We can handle this however we need to handle this.
I'm not voting for What We Do in the Shadows, so whatever the fuck else.
I think Ron's going to tie break then, because...
No, I'm absolutely voting for What We Do in the Shadows, because I never even heard of this other thing.
Son of a bitch.
So our winner, guys, decided on the spot right now, is Natasha Dimitrov for What We Do in the Shadows.
God damn it.
Congratulations, Natasha.
Your show is stupid, Natasha.
Come on, nice.
Have never heard of Sweet Pea. I don't know what that is.
It was on a list of the best television shows in 2024.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Apparently liked, though. I mean, it is now second.
Our best actor is our next category for actor in a horror series for 2024. We have Bruce Campbell, Hysteria, Mark Duplass for The Creep Tapes, Zachary Arthur in Chucky, Harold Perrineau in From, Michael Emerson from Evil. He was in that. He's really in that one, guys.
Yes. Diverse acting talent.
Kevin Novick from What We Do in the Shadows. Who did you guys vote for?
Without a doubt, I voted for Bruce Campbell. One, it's Hysteria, and I wanted to win something, and it's Bruce fucking Campbell. He's awesome.
I also voted for Bruce Campbell, just having not seen Hysteria, which I actually heard about from this form because I was not keeping up on horror TV this year. I just assumed he was the best.
He was amazing. He was Bruce Campbell in it. He's very Bruce Campbell in it. He's very good. He plays a sheriff. He's terrific.
I also was going to vote for Bruce Campbell, but I figured he was going to have a bunch. So I voted for Mark Duplass only because I didn't watch a ton of Hysteria and I watched a lot of Creep Tapes, and I know his performance was great in the Creep Tapes, and I'm sure Bruce Campbell's was, but I don't know. It's just, I didn't want to just vote for the name, even if it was deserving, that makes it different. Sure. But I don't know. There's something about seeing that character over and over again, a character that you like, and watching him kill people repeatedly for fun. I'm with it. But I very well could. I might have voted for Bruce Campbell. I'm pretty sure I voted for Mark.
Mark Duplass is a great actor. I really do like him.
He did great.
And so I said I really wanted Hysteria to win something. I thought this would be the category because it's Bruce Campbell. But I also think that this is a tough category because Mark Duplass is very good. I know that. A lot of people, I mean, we've seen Chucky sweep the fucking television category before. Zachary Arthur's the star of that show. So, that's a chance. Michael Emerson's also a very good actor and actress, apparently. Yeah.
And actress, yeah.
But so, yeah, very possible that he could win. I know Evil is a very popular show. I've never watched an episode of it. So this is a tough category, but I felt like this was the place where Hysteria could maybe get a goddamn Slashie Award. Big fan of that show, guys.
Our best actor award goes to Zachary Arthur from Chucky.
Son of a bitch.
And I don't believe that I can't believe I have to do this at the Slashies, but I'm going to propose a potential horror court because Zachary Arthur won with 32.8%. 32.5% was Bruce Campbell with Hysteria in second place. He missed a tie by one single vote.
Oops.
Look, congratulations to Zachary Arthur. I didn't watch this season of Chucky. I'm sure he was good in it. I just really wanted something for Hysteria.
That one seemed like a good shot.
It did. I thought that was the best shot that it had. And look, it's very rare that I really like a television series like this much. Like I was really into it. It's not even. It's kind of a light, fun watch. Like I just really enjoyed it.
And I'll say this too. I just said Chucky lost me, dude. Zachary Arthur is phenomenal in Chucky. So. And I believe I said this when Chucky ran the gauntlet, whatever year it was that he ran it, probably season 1, maybe both seasons. I don't remember. But Zachary Arthur, he is phenomenal. Like he does very well in this role. I forget the kid's name, the role that he plays. But he is great in the series. So I'm not mad at this. Kind of like whichever one came up earlier. The director. Like I wasn't mad about Greg Nicotero winning that because in that role for this award, Zachary Arthur very well could have been. I didn't see much of Bruce Campbell, but like I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he's good in the role and everything. Yeah,
he is. Yeah. He is very good.
I'm not mad at all.
Need to talk about it, Rob.
Writing down. We come in next week to do a Hysteria should have won complaint session.
These goddamn Slashie Awards every year.
Every year.
And you didn't want to put Chucky S tier. See what I'm saying? Very popular.
Every year. It just, we get more and more frustrating results.
Yeah, I thought that having extra people respond was going to help. That has not been the case.
Yeah, and look, it's nothing against Zachary Arthur, really. It's just I really wanted Hysteria to win something, and that was its last shot. And what I thought was maybe its best, because I thought people would just vote for Bruce Campbell because he's Bruce Campbell.
That's what I did. Yeah. No shame.
If this has taught me anything, it's that I need to talk more about Hysteria because people need to know more about the show and watch it because it's really good.
Yeah, horror court for real. Rob has told me to watch Southern Comfort. He has told me to watch The Bear. He's told me to watch Below Deck and several Below Deck spinoffs. This is the first time I'm hearing that Rob liked Hysteria, which is a show I actually would have watched.
Well, I believe Below Deck Down Under is getting ready to start, so you can pick up with that. It's the start of a new season.
Unbelievable.
Good time to jump on Below Deck. I would not, if you're going to watch Southern Comfort, you're going to want to, or Southern Charm, rather, you're going to want to go back all the way to the beginning, probably, and start from there.
Not going to do that. And you know that.
They're in the middle of season 10 right now, and it might be a little confusing for you. I mean, that's what I had to do. I had to go back and start from the beginning. Hysteria, though, one season you can sit down. Like I said, I knocked it out over a weekend because I was really into it. So yeah, that would be a good place to start. And The Bear, well, I stand by that. It was a good show. You do have to. It's a little tough in the beginning, though. You got to get through it.
Unbelievable. All right, our next category is for best effects. We have Evil, Interview with the Vampire, Chucky from Teacup, What We Do in the Shadows, and American Horror Stories.
I have no idea what I voted for.
Don't remember what I voted for. It might honestly have been American Horror Stories because I think that's the best thing that they're up to, but this also wasn't their best effect season. So I might have gone with Teacup.
I think I might have voted for Evil because I saw I think that's the one I saw some stills of some creatures that they had and they looked really cool.
You guys are going to get mad at me, but I voted for Chuck. Now,
I'm not mad at it. I voted based off stills that I saw from a show I've never watched.
I didn't expect Chucky to run the gauntlet. Had a great outcome. So, no harm, no foul, right? I now see that Chucky is running the gauntlet again. But, dude, Chucky deserves to win this one. Come on now. Just Chucky moving alone as smooth. Because, Chucky looks great in the series. There's no question about that. They deserve to win this one.
All right. Yeah, fair enough. And you know what? I might have voted for Chucky. I think it was Evil, but it may have been Chucky for that reason. I don't remember.
I mean, what else are we going to vote for? The powder used and what we do in the shadows? Come on out. Let's be real.
I mean, I do feel like I say this every year, but I need to write down what I vote for.
You do say that every year.
Our winner for best effects goes to Chucky with 41.1%.
We can't get mad at this one. We just can't. Come on, guys.
I'm not mad at this one specifically, but I can't believe another year of Chucky running the gauntlet.
I know. I didn't think it would happen again. I did it conscious free. I was like, okay, this is fine.
I was voting and I saw how many of these categories Chucky was in and it was no. And then I signed in and I saw how many responses we got and I was like, oh, it won't do it. And it got me. It did it.
The upside is we don't have to worry about this again.
That's true. This is our last year of Chucky gauntlet.
Yeah.
Specifically, some other dumb thing is going to pop up. And
hopefully that means they'll go back to making Chucky movies, which is something I want to see.
That would be.
I agree.
Yeah.
Rumors.
What if they go back to making Mark Hamill Chucky movies?
Hey, don't start
real Chucky?
Son of a bitch, we mentioned Chucky so many times and he didn't say a word. Cat, God damn it.
Sorry.
I had to listen to that this weekend at some point. I forget when he did it. Son of a bitch.
All right. Our final category of the evening is the most anticipated series of 2025. We've got Stranger Things, Crystal Lake, The Last of Us, Dexter, Resurrection, Wednesday, and It, Welcome to Derry.
I, without a doubt, for probably the second or third year in a row, voted for Crystal Lake, and I probably will vote for it again next year because I don't think this thing's ever fucking coming.
I also voted for Crystal Lake. I think I did it last year as well. Although I will say this, Wednesday, I kind of was thinking about.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I voted for The Last of Us. I'm actually replaying the games in anticipation of the next season of The Last of Us. I'm really excited.
Yeah, I feel like all of these are pretty heavy hitters in horror television, things that people are looking forward to.
I was going to say, for us specifically, because I don't think any of us are going to watch Dexter Resurrection.
No.
Or Stranger Things or Wednesday until Mikey said that he was thinking about Wednesday.
No, there's
I liked
of
Wednesday.
These. I might watch Stranger Things maybe because I did like the last season that they did. Crystal Lake, I'm looking forward to. I didn't watch The Last of Us. I don't care. Dexter Resurrection, I don't care. Wednesday, I don't care. Welcome to Derry. Half interested.
You've got to watch The Last of Us. It's so good.
I don't. I saw the video game. I watched people play the video game. I already have seen it. I don't need to watch it.
But it's got Pedro Pascal in it.
I do like Pedro Pascal.
He's so good. He's so talented.
Yeah, I don't know that I need to watch the show. I watched the video game.
All right.
I'm so tired of hearing of Pedro Pascal. I can't even begin to explain.
I didn't even do it this time. What happened?
Not you. I'm just public opinion. He was just the hottest person in the world for so long. And it's God damn it. I'm tired of hearing he's hot.
That's because he's literally the hottest person in the world, Mike. You don't understand. I've switched my favorite brand of beer.
I'm not denying it. I'm just tired of hearing it. It's not saying it's not true.
Okay. I'm sorry. Mikey, it's got Nick Offerman in it. I don't know. I don't know who you like.
Wait, Nick Offerman's in it?
Yeah.
Oh, I like him.
You like Pedro Pascal, Rob?
I know I do, but I also I really like Nick Offerman. Parks and Rec is one of the greatest shows. It's so funny.
Not as good as The Last of Us, but okay. It is funnier than The Last of Us. I'll give you that.
I was going to watch The Last of Us, but then I was like, I watched people play the video game. I've already seen this. I don't need to watch it.
It's different. Better. Anyway.
You think, are they going to play the Pearl Jam song in The Last of Us 2?
Maybe.
Let me know, because I probably won't want it.
Wow.
There's a lot of Southern charm and Below Deck that has to be watched, all right? Below Deck is on year round.
How? That's the real tragedy of the evening.
There are so many spinoffs. Like, they literally just finished Below Deck Sailing Yacht, and they're getting ready to start Below Deck Down Under.
Down Under?
Yeah, it's in Australia. Yeah.
Boy.
So, anyway,
our winner for most anticipated. I'm just mad at Rob now. This is not a Pedro Pascal friendly podcast anymore.
No, I like Pedro Pascal. I do. I saw The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. I get it. But, I just don't think I need to see him in The Last of Us.
Rob also thinks Pedro Pascal's hot. Confirm.
He's a good looking guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Our most anticipated series of 2025 is Stranger Things with 33.9%.
Yeah.
I knew it. I fucking knew it.
Well, I actually didn't know it because The Last of Us was really popular.
The Last of Us did take second place, which I'm pleased with.
And Dexter was very popular. And
I knew it, though.
Wednesday was really popular. Crystal Lake's got Jason. I mean, all these could have, like, I kind of figured Stranger Things was the most likely outcome, but I thought there were some potential upsets there.
I have a bit of a theory. Looking at the data now, I think because we do have so many gamers coming over from our YouTube channel, it makes a lot of sense that Stranger Things, which had the Dead by Daylight fans all up in the Dungeons and Dragons expansion, I think it makes sense that one, and then like the second place going to a video game adaptation also makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Look, I need to catch up on Stranger Things. Like, I started it and I lost where I was, because that's the thing. And I was explaining this to Grandma Bones when we were going over her, which I got to follow up on.
I was going to ask you, how's that going?
I don't know. I haven't talked to her about it. I bet you she hasn't watched one fucking thing, and I'm going to lose my goddamn mind on her. But anyway, one of the things I warned her about was when you fall asleep watching something, you wake up and you turn it off. It's off already. Are you still watching shit? But then when you go back to watch it, it doesn't know you were asleep.
Yeah, you don't know where you're at.
No idea. And God forbid it switches a season in the middle of that shit. You're fucked. So I lost my place. But Stranger Things isn't, I want to know what the fuck everybody's talking about kind of thing. It is very popular. So I knew it. I just fucking knew. Not mad though. I mean, from what I've seen, it's like a movie, like a really long movie.
Yeah, you haven't gotten to season 2 yet though, have you?
I might have finished season 2.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It gets better from there. But season 2 sucked.
I heard season 1 was good. Season 2 sucked, and then it kept getting better. So I was like, all right, I might just pick up from season 3 and call it a fucking day, maybe. But all right.
Well, look, overall, most of the things I wanted to win didn't. That seems to be how the slashies go, though. A successful first night of the 4th Annual Slashie Awards, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you are known for having terrible taste, so that might be a good thing that happened.
Hey, because I also don't do well at the Slashie every year, so.
I usually don't either, but I mean, Rob specifically, probably. If he's doing bad, it's a sign of positivity to me.
And everyone go watch Hysteria. It's on Peacock. And since you have Peacock already, you can watch Below Deck and Southern Charm. They're also available on Peacock.
Slasher Radio on Twitter, patreon.com/Slasher Radio. You are something else. Night 2 of the Slashies next week. So again, if you haven't voted for the movies, you still have time to do that. By the time this comes out, you'll have 2.5 whole days. I guess the word whole doesn't exactly belong there.
2.5 whole days.
2.5 whole ass days to vote.
5 whole half days.
There you go.
And so make sure you go do that.
Also, patrons, get in those Lord Humphrey Lifetime Achievement Award nominations. If you haven't done it.
Oh, God.
we're running out of time because at some point we got to cut that off so I can, go to the committee and we can come up with the winner.
I'm really nervous about
someone's going to win the Lord Humphrey Lifetime Achievement Award and be inducted into the Slasher Radio Hall of Fame next week.
Kat, I'll have you know this. Christmas. I don't remember what it was that Rob said, but Rob said, so we were talking about movies or whatever, and Rob said something, and Chris started saying, look, I know it's Slashie season, but I said, this motherfucker he's holding back so hard. Dude, I've never seen somebody. And Chris has been pushing back. So it's not like it's by the balls, but this is the closest I've ever seen Chris come to being had by the balls in my life. Rob, kudos to you, man. Like, I'm not going to lie. You tamed a lion to a degree.
Look, and it wasn't even by design. It wasn't. I didn't plan it that way. It's just so happened because we all know that if Chris does not get in this year, it is a bit, and that's a problem.
I also if this is Chris on his best behavior, what will happen?
Oh God.
And I don't even know if Chris has been nominated because I haven't seen the nominees.
Oh my God, what if Chris wasn't nominated? That would be terrifying.
I will say this because I don't think it's... And also, anyone who's listened to the show for an extended period of time, Chris is not above nominating himself. So, Chris has got to be nominated one way or...
And I've said this because that's happened. That happened at least last year. I don't know about the year. I don't know about the year before that, but... Look, I'm fine with that. That's a power move. I'm good with it.
Yeah. We encourage that for a lifetime achievement. Better than nominating Al Bundy, some would argue.
I don't know. Al Bundy's in and Chris isn't. So
yeah, I was gonna say at least one person would disagree with that. Holy shit! But yeah, that was so funny. Chris, I could picture him wanting to unleash and be like, "Oh man, it's Slashie season." So holy shit. What else? YouTube, TikTok. Is TikTok staying? Is it going? What's happening?
It is back, unfortunately.
Got a 90-day stay of execution, and I don't think it's going anywhere.
I don't think so either. I wanted to so fucking bad.
I do
you have
too,
no idea.
Nothing made me happier than when I was in the middle of Greg's live and that shit just shut off.
Fuck them.
Thank God I can get rid of this bullshit now. And then the next day or whatever, it was back. And I was like, you got to be fucking kidding me.
But yeah, we all knew it. Yeah, we all knew. And again, I will say, for Greg and all the content creators, I do feel bad. But the annoying fuckers are the ones I want to suffer, not you guys.
And to be fair, it's not just TikTok. I wish they would outlaw all those fucking apps. Let's just get rid of Facebook and Twitter.
Oh, that would make my life
Let's just get rid of all
easier.
Of them.
All gone,
I'd
please,
be free.
But unfortunately, those sites still exist and you can follow us on all of them. So please go do that.
Yeah.
What else? I said YouTube, I said TikTok, Blue Sky.
Unless
Twitter.
you happen to be a content creator who's nominated for one of our awards, then by all means, don't bother to follow me.
Yeah, I think that's it. I'm at Mikey's dad. And I mentioned going to vote for this last year. I don't know. I feel like I'm forgetting. All right. And go watch that horror Rumble thing. For the love of God, please. That was how long it took me to edit that fucking thing. It was an entire night. Go watch it.
Not only that, but we've been talking about doing that for almost a year. We finally did it. I was like, yeah, this is going to be great. Landed like a fucking dud.
No. And again, it happened just like we said at the end of it. If the video before it has 3,000 views, which it does, and this has 30, which it got about double that or so, we ain't gonna do it no more. What a disappointment. We've been looking forward to that for a whole year. We don't get to fucking do it anymore. Yeah, I'm at Mikey's Dead on Twitter. Follow me, don't follow me. That's fine. I'm not petty like Rob. That's fine. Rob, where are they finding?
You can find me on Twitter at Radio Rob123. Follow me there, but please, for the love of God, don't interact with me at all. You can also find me on pretty much everything with that same handle at Radio Rob123. Except for TikTok, but I'm working on that. I am going to sue that guy if the app sticks around, more than likely. You can listen to the other show that Kat and I do together. It's all about Nicolas Cage, the Nick fucking Woo Cagecast. That's Nick effing Woo Cagecast in your podcast player. We just released our episode on Pay the Ghost. And coming up, we will be talking about, it's another really generic ass title. I believe it's a movie called The Trust.
Yeah, it is called The Trust.
Yeah. So that one's going to be coming up, but you can find that wherever you listen to podcasts.
The fact that Rob got beaten to that handle on TikTok, chef's kiss.
Just by some fucking random dude, too.
Can you imagine that guy like crying? He's like, I can't watch Greg's lives anymore. And then like TikTok comes back and he instantly gets sued by Rob.
Dude, honestly, I would pay this man to show up in Greg's live for Rob and honestly pay him.
I might try and file another complaint with TikTok.
Have we checked to confirm whether or not it's our other friend Rob from Creepy and Geeky?
Oh my God, imagine that if it's other Rob.
How really fun to do.
You can find me on Instagram and Blue Sky and wherever at Catvalor, CATVOLEUR. You can check out my website, catvalor.com. I've got books for sale.
I am motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I'm white girl wasted. That's where we're at right now. I am motherfuckers. All right. Night 2 next week. Get your votes in if you haven't already. Good night. SLASHIE.
I'm going to go play The Sim.
All the best with Slasher Radio Podcast.
If you're a podcast host, listen up, this one's for you. My name is Allie Jackson. I'm the host of Finding Mr. Height, a dating and relationship podcast that I've been doing for 4 years now, sharing my positive and practical approach to dating that's built on my own life experience. And I wanted to share another experience that I've had, my secret behind monetizing my show. It's called Red Circle, and I was just telling my colleague about how much I love their platform. With Red Circle, not only am I getting a seamless hosting experience, but I also love the support I receive in ad sales. It's not just typical ad sales either. It's targeted opportunities based on my show and my life. And the platform is super simple. You just set your preferences and Red Circle matches you with sponsors that align with your show. You can vet every opportunity and their platform gives you great analytics. More recently too, my Red Circle team has brought me opportunities outside of my podcast on social media to really augment the podcast partnerships, bring them full circle. I just can't recommend them enough. If you want to give it a try, go to redcircle.com to get your free trial. That's redcircle.com for a free trial.